IT, this is Bentley. Oh yeah, I'd be happy to help. Overworked and Underplayed is a not safe for work Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast about a group of young professionals from the real world who find themselves transported to a strange but familiar place full of fantasy and magic. If you click the link below, you'll be able to see the description and content warnings, and if there's anything else I can do for you, just let me know. Have a good day.
Good evening. I'm Special Agent Purple from DIC. Can you give me a rundown of what's going on? What's your name?
It's Officer Stogie, ma'am.
Can you give me a rundown of the events?
Yes, absolutely. So we have here a case of simple property damage. I've already spoken to the proprietor. He didn't have much information to give me, but he said that there is someone here by the name of, let me check my notes real quick, Nimio, that we can go talk to. I think that's him right over there, ma'am.
Okay, let's go talk to Nimio.
What do you want?
Hi, I'm Special Agent Purple from the DIC, and this is Officer Stogel. And
it's Stogie.
Oh, sure. We're here investigating a minor incident. I think it might be connected to a larger string of events. Can you give me a rundown of what happened?
All right. I don't know much. These guys came here. You know, we had a few drinks. We talked for a bit. They're out-of-towners. You know how that goes. And they caused a little ruckus. Centaur kicked a door open and then smashed a trash can. They left. I think they were going to the crow's nest. That's all I know.
Well, we really appreciate your cooperation for this investigation, and we'll make note of it for the future.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go over. Officer Stogel, can we go to the crow's nest? Will you escort me?
Yes, Special Agent Purple, we will head over to the crow's nest, and it's Officer Stogie.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the crow's nest. Oh, I'm assuming this is not a pleasure visit.
Sir, this is, we're doing an investigation on some property damage at another establishment, and they led us to this location.
Whom am I speaking with?
I'm Officer Stogie, and this is Special Agent Purple.
And what can I help you with?
Well, we would like to know what happened. Can you give us a rundown of the events leading up to this point right now?
Don't say another word! Saul Goodelf.
Frickin' Saul.
At your service, officers. I'm assuming that you are here under official business. Does it have to do with my 6 clients?
Well, they are the lead suspects in a crime.
What crime?
Property damage at the public house.
What evidence do you have of this crime?
We have eyewitness testimony leading us to this location.
Who?
I'm not at liberty to disclose my sources.
Is it Nimio?
I'm not at liberty to disclose my sources.
It's
You
Nimio.
know the deal, Saul.
Oh, yeah. You miss me with the little back and forth, to and fro. Listen, here's how this is going to work. You guys are going to forget this whole thing happened, and it's going to make all of our lives a lot easier. The bar where the damage occurred has already been compensated for. And if you want to have any further correspondence, you can forward it to my office because I now represent all 6 of these alleged criminals.
Saul, why do you always have to make my day so difficult?
Well, that's what they pay me for.
Thank you for your time. We'll be leaving now.
As always, it's a pleasure, Agent Purple.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine.
Welcome, my unpaid interns. I am Alex Capps, your GM or General Manager, because Wizards of the Coast are assholes, and we need to get used to using neutral language and not things in the OGL. This is Overworked and Underplayed, a tabletop RPG podcast for young professionals by young professionals. And today's icebreaker question for the group is, what is your student loan situation?
I'm Kyle. I played Jimothy Styx in this universe. He's a gnome artificer. Jimmy's student loan situation is his big brain plan was to get good enough at IT work to where he would just erase his student loans, post haste.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he didn't go quite far enough, and now he's massively in debt.
What up? It's your boy Marcel Hardy playing Richard Cox, a human consultant turned halfling bard who wholly believes it's better to be lucky than to be good, but it's best to be both. And his student loan situation is that Richard pays the minimum payment on his loans, due to the relatively low interest rate and invests in potentially high return opportunities.
Is Richard Cox a Dave Ramsey bro?
He is not. He may have watched a Dave Ramsey video or two, but he is not a Dave Ramsey bro.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Annalyn Hardy, and I play Taylor Jacobs, a centaur barbarian with a heart of gold, and she is our resident marketing coordinator. So her student loan situation is that she has exactly, to the penny, $10,000 left. She's just banking on the U.S. government to help her out with that.
Oh, that's a thing in this universe too?
Apparently so.
Fantastic.
All right, hi, my name is Katie, and I play Crystal, a drow druid and the owner of her very own MLM, Crystal Clarity. And her student loan situation is you have to pay for college. She didn't have to, so I don't think she finished her degree, but she definitely didn't pay for a single bit of it.
I could just see Crystal just walked into a class and sat down and was just like, I'm here, right? Like, this counts.
No. She definitely signed up and went through the process, and like she definitely joined a sorority. I don't know if she actually was successful in it or not, but she understands that part. She just doesn't understand why other people can't pay for her college. Like,
In my mind, your like character's backstory is similar to Elle Woods, but I don't want to lump you in the same category as Elle Woods because that woman is a hero. Blueberry is not that.
All right, it is established in canon that Jimmy is a Reese Witherspoon fan.
Hey, my name's Margie. I play Amy Ann Amanda, basic B rough and tumble human fighter with a freshly minted dentistry degree. Her student loan situation, she brought it up one time with some friends and has learned to not bring it up since because she does not have any student loans. Her parents helped pay everything for her all through medical school. And, she
And
went to
through medical school?
Yeah,
Oh
all
my
through
God.
everything. She had a scholarship. She was on the wrestling team for a while. So
Yes.
yeah, she knows it's a tough subject for a lot of people.
The
so.
wrestling team in dental college.
Well, in undergrad, yeah.
What would
She
you?
started the wrestling
What would they
program
be
for the
called?
dental school.
Yeah.
The Mighty Molars.
Molars.
Something you can really sink your teeth. That's
Good. Oh, that's so good.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I play Bentley, the IT paladin, and Bentley's situation is he doesn't really talk about it, but basically he got through college, was in a ton of debt, but luckily for him, he got into Bitcoin really early.
Oh, nice.
So he was able to sell and cash out and pay it off and still has some hanging around.
Hey listeners, we want to let you know that if you enjoy our show and want more content, we're proud to announce we're now on Patreon. By becoming a patron, you get access to all episodes ad-free, exclusive access to any bonus content we create, a thank you for your support at the end of an episode, and more. For more details about what you get by supporting us on Patreon, check us out at patreon.com/ownuppod.
When we last left off, you guys had managed to find somewhere to stay for the night. You'd also managed to reunite with the party and somehow have all ended up in a deal with Blügal. When we last ended, you guys were on your way to onboarding. So as we pick up, you guys are in the Portside district.
All right, so we sprint to our first day at work.
You guys make it to the dock and you see a rather large-looking sailing ship called the SS Blügal.
Is it like a nice
Okay.
sailing ship, or is
Yeah,
it
I
like
mean,
a
it looks-
shitty sailing ship?
It looks
Very important
nice.
Details.
It's a very long ship. I mean, what do you want to know about it?
Like, does it have a first
Like,
class?
does it look hot, or
Is there a mermaid
regular
on the
ship?
front? Yeah.
Okay, there's no mermaid on the
Oh.
front,
Oh,
but there is some kind of a figurine.
I'm now picturing the figure on the front of the ship is just a ram.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's appropriate.
That's awesome.
Are we going to the boat?
Yes.
All
All right,
right.
everybody, best foot forward. Let's get on the ship.
So as you guys approach the entrance plank, you see a little desk set up, and there's a sign above it that says registration. And there's a small, looks to be a gnome sitting behind the counter.
Okay, so I guess we walk over to the desk and we tell them, hey, we're here for our first day.
Yes. Let's see if you're on the list. Sorry. You're some of the first ones I've had today. My name is Richard Tate. I am the secretary in charge of registration. Name, please.
Jimmy? Might be under Jimothy.
And he's shuffling through his papers. Oh, yes. One Jimothy Sticks. Is that
That's
correct?
me.
And he pulls off like a little tag and hands it to you. He goes, "You can pin this to your shirt."
Cool.
And-
Where do we go?
He says, "On the boat."
All right.
And he hands you what looks like a folder that says onboarding. And he says, "Oh, yes, and your official Blügal employee ID card. We'll get the picture later." And he hands it to you, and you have like a little card that says Jimothy Sticks on it with the Blügal logo.
Nice.
And you also notice there's like 3 little boxes on it. He says, "Oh, those are your check boxes for using Blügal services."
Oh, we get 3 free uses. If I
Oh,
remember
okay,
right.
yeah.
It's a day and
Yes.
not like a.
These
Okay.
these are enchanted, and when you hand it to the terminal, they'll mark it magically. And then upon the next day, the marks disappear.
So I guess
All
we
right.
all kind of just follow
Next.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
We should
Jimmy,
probably
me.
all
Yeah.
sign in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as they're going through them, Richard, they hand you your information.
Sweet.
Taylor Jacobs, they get to Bentley, and they're like, "Sir, we need a last name."
He like leans over and like whispers the last name.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Is anyone trying to listen in?
Yes, Taylor's very
No.
Okay,
nosy.
anyone who's trying to listen in will need to make me a perception check. Bentley, would you like to use one of the destiny points?
Yes, I would.
All right.
That was a 20.
Okay, and who all was rolling to listen?
I rolled a 10.
I win.
I would say that wouldn't your full name be on the contract that we signed? Because how else would this person have gotten it? So if we saw the
So-
contract, we should have seen your name.
Bentley's handwriting is about as good as mine, so you can't really read his
Yeah,
signature.
his handwriting is atrocious. All right, they give you your information and everything, and then we come to Crystal. Richard says, "Yes, Miss Crystal, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
We need a last name."
I don't have one.
You just don't have one.
He looks again, and he says, "Are you sure?"
I'm like 100% positive
That's
that
correct.
I legally no longer have a last name.
In our
says-
records, she's also just Crystal.
Just 8 underscores in a row.
He says, "Well, that being the case, we're going to have to register you as Crystal number 2.
No. Under no circumstances am I the second of anything.
No, we just registered a user not long ago. She's you may have heard of this new faith, the Claritarians.
Gross.
She is the high priestess. She has these magical oils, but she was the first crystal registered. You know,
So is she registered as Crystal 1?
no, she's registered as the crystal.
Cool. Then Crystal is just fine.
No, there's permutations of each name that we reserve for the user, and that's one of her permutations.
I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
Here, I'll just write it down for you.
You don't have to write it down for me.
The
I
first one's
understand.
going to need to be deleted because this is the only crystal that exists.
Yeah,
She said the same thing. That was so weird.
I'm sure she did. So
You'll bear a striking resemblance as well.
what?
Yes, yeah. I mean, do you have a sister?
Yeah, I do have a sister. Yeah,
Were you twins?
we are twins, and I was born first.
She said she was born first. This is
Sorry.
so peculiar.
Yep, she always says that because she's jealous of me. So I was born first.
Okay, well, she registered first, so
Well, then that means that you can change her name.
he writes it down, Crystal number 2, and
No,
hands her
no,
the card.
no.
He says, I hope you have a wonderful onboarding
Oh
session.
my god.
How can we make a complaint?
You could file that through human resources.
All right, so how about we do this? You're going to register me as Crystal /original, and then she can be Crystal.
Well, let me see if there's any other aliases available.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking, he's like, we could register you as Crystal Light.
No, okay. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to register me as Crystal Clarity.
Oh, so your last name is Clarity.
In this world, apparently it is.
Oh, well.
With a K.
He
That's
starts
a good pivot there.
he
Crystal.
starts digging through. He goes, "Oh, I hate to tell you this.
Motherfucker.
She registered that as a trademark with our records department back in Lavron.
But trademarks aren't names.
They're not names, but
So my name is
this is
Crystal
kind
Clarity.
of with both of you being registered with our system, this is a conflict of interest for
I
us.
don't care.
And until you two resolve this issue, we can't really accommodate that request. Tell you what, the best I can do is I can put down Crystal number 2 as
Nope.
like
What
a
if-
middle name and then K.
What if we embrace the whole new product launch that you were gonna have and use essential orals in the name and just do crystal orals?
Richard turns and looks at both of you, and he starts looking through his records. He goes, "Well, I have to tell you, Crystal Orals is
No,
not
Taylor,
reserved."
no, pump those brakes for me right
Crystal
now.
doesn't know why that's not okay.
Quite the holy name.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's a mouthful.
It is a
So-
mouthful.
Even though it's a trademark, it's not a legal name. My legal name is
Look,
Crystal Clarity.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, no. This is how this is going to go. My name is Crystal Clarity.
this is above my pay grade. I can't
Then
really.
let
My
me
hands
speak
are
to your
tied.
manager.
My manager is not here.
Richard
Did
leans
you-
over to Jimmy. He's like, more like Crystal Karen, am I right?
Oh, stealth check.
That's bad.
Nat
And
one.
Crystal, I'm gonna say you have advantage because you are irritated right now, and your senses are heightened.
So that's a 20.
10.
All right, so Crystal, you definitely hear Richard behind you call you a Karen.
So Crystal turns right around to Richard and she's like, "Excuse me, is your name taken? Are someone trying to impersonate you?"
Well, we both have the name Richard. It's actually pretty common. to have
Exactly.
multiple
So
people with
I
the
don't
same
have a
name.
boring name.
Ooh. Oh, definitely taking some psychological damage on that one.
I don't have a boring name.
Ooh,
I have
big
a clever
fan.
name. So therefore, my name is mine.
When you turn back around for dealing with Richard, there's a "gone to lunch" sign at the where Richard was sitting.
Okay, moving on. So what did we end up with?
You ended up with Crystal number 2.
Oh, I am so killing this girl.
Maybe it's you from like the future or something.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I think this bitch is just a copycat.
But maybe it's your sister. You just said you had a sister.
I don't have a sister. I really appreciate you paying attention to the conversation, but I do not have a sister. Normally, Crystal is so much nicer to Dr. Amanda, but that just really set me off.
When Richard turns back around, notices the other Richard is missing, you notice that he signed a lot of his papers with his shortened name Dick.
Classic.
So he's like gone to lunch, right? What did he leave behind? Is there anything I can take?
No, he grabbed like all the papers, and you're not really sure where he went.
I mean, theoretically,
Seriously.
you could take the gone to lunch sign and then people would be mad.
Oh yeah, I'm
And then
doing
get
that.
him in trouble.
I'm taking the gone to lunch sign and chucking it over into the water. Just as hard as I can.
All right, so you guys make it onto the SS Blügal, and there's a bunch of chairs set up on the main deck. You see one of the Blügal employees with like bright colors on their shirt standing up in front of everybody. Jimmy, Crystal, and Taylor would recognize that he looks similar to the bird person you met earlier, and he looks very excited to be there. He sees all of you. He's like, "Oh, hurry to your seats. We're about to get started with the festivities. Welcome to Blügal. We're so happy to have you here."
Wow, what's your name?
He says, "Oh, my name is Earl Elijah Bird."
Earl Elijah Bird. It is so nice to meet you. We're very excited to be here. Do you have a separate section for horses?
He looks and he says, "Oh, yes, here at Blügal, we believe in non-exclusatory practices." He points to one of the chairs. He goes, "We were waiting for your arrival," and there's just like a bed of hay next to some chairs.
Aww.
And there's like, he's like, "Oh, yes, apple."
Oh my god, thank you for the apple. That's so nice. And like go and sit in the hay because she thinks this is fully what you're supposed to say.
When do we get the newcomer swag? I want my little hat with the little spinning wheel thing on top.
I would say that as they get started, they definitely bring around like some burlap sacks that say Blügal on them. They have like some rope tied off to the sides, and you look in there and you find like a thing to put your ID card on. Around your neck, you find like a little hat. You find, let's just say you find a shirt of some kind, and a little map of the city telling you where like the main points of interest for Blügal employees are.
So like, What's the room setup look like? Is it like a...
Oh, you're just on the
room?
main deck of the ship.
Oh, are we trying to find a conference room to start our orientation?
No. This is where we're doing it.
On the deck of the ship.
Yes. Earl
With all
looks.
this, like, sea noise.
Yes, Earl looks and he says, yes, we'll begin with orientation. And then once we have the ship oriented correctly, then we will proceed on to company policies, and you'll get your Blügal buddy and meet your manager.
Oh, God. I've never had a manager before, so this is going to be...
You've only spoken to them.
Yeah. That was really good. All right. So, what do you mean by orient the ship? Are we just sitting down and like having a conversation?
No. As part of the Blügal process, we take you on a short tour of the waters around the city. We believe that the fresh sea air invigorates you and, lifts you up so it's not so depressing like the rest of your career will be.
Oof.
Okay. We believe starting off on the right foot before descending into mindless mediocrity.
So this is like a company cruise.
Yeah, you could think of it as a little pleasure cruise.
Okay, I've been on company cruises before. So where's the waiter? I want my free mimosa.
There's no alcohol while you're on the clock. I'm sorry.
What do you mean on the clock?
Well, this is company property, and you're on company property, and there's liability if something was to happen while you were drinking, and we just can't have that. So there's no drinking on company property.
So wait, they don't have a 2-drink policy with lunch?
No.
That's
only for upper management.
Well,
then I've been upper management for years. Didn't know I got a promotion.
all right then. Whatever. I guess you guys are gonna shortchange us on our little like beverages.
Okay, let's get this ship
I'm
started.
gonna sit down.
All right, so they get the ship off from the dock, and they say, all right, everyone, are you ready to begin orientation? We are going to set our sails in the correct direction. And they see as the ship's navigators using a compass orients the ship. And he says, all right, now we'll begin with the onboarding process. He says, does everyone have their Blügal ID cards? And you see all these people like, woo, yeah, I got one. And he looks, he goes, everyone good? Yes? Yes?
Everyone
Yes?
We officially like to file a complaint.
We'll take questions later on.
It's not a question.
How many other people do we see at this orientation?
There's probably about like 20 or 30 people here total.
Okay.
So there's, a good number of people. And they all seem like you see all different kinds of people. You see pointy ears. You see a couple that would remind you of the CEO or the bartender you met. You see all different kinds. No other centaurs, though. I'll throw that out there. He says, now, allow me to introduce myself if none of the rest of you have I've had a chance to introduce myself to you yet. My name is Earl E. Bird. I am your onboarding specialist. He says, now, normally we would cover company policies right now. We'll go ahead and go over our firestorm policies for in the event of an emergency. We'll cover the hostile takeover procedure later on. Apparently, from the last onboarding, the weapons got a little damaged. So we'll be doing that training later when our safety officer returns. But first, we'd like to assign you and your team your own Blügal buddy. Woo! Everyone's like all cheering and everything.
It's too
They're
early
like,
for this.
your Blügal buddy will be your official connection with the company and help you get up to speed. Woo!
Can they
Who's
help us
excited?
change our name?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I said questions will be handled at the end.
Taylor's gonna like whisper at everyone, like, maybe they can help us get home.
So here's what I want you to do. Everyone, reach under your seat.
Oh no!
All right, so Richard goes under his seat.
Yeah.
So you reach around and you find like a little envelope. And
Okay.
all of you would find an envelope under your seat. And it has the name of your Blügal buddy.
No.
Oh, we
Okay.
each get one. Okay.
Yeah. And, well, they're all of yours are the same.
Oh, got it.
How'd they know where we were going to sit?
Magic.
It's a world where magic exists. I can just hand wave that.
We've got magic but no sauce.
Right? Still mad about
That's
this.
going on a t-shirt.
Magic but no socks.
And as you open it up, you see a familiar name, Amanda Lynn. No need to take this offline. Overworked and Underplayed will circle back after these messages.
Oh, hey, this is that girl that hates us.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay, so how do the three of you react to that?
Why does she hate you?
Does she hate you?
Bentley's like, because you stole the thing and got her demoted.
It's about this time you see 3 or 4 people come running out from behind Earl Bird. They've got their Blügal shirts and hats on. They're all waving their arms in the air. And you see Amanda Lynn, and as soon as she locks eyes with all of you, like the color just drains out of her face. And her smile fades into a very neutral expression. And she is handed an envelope and opens it and just kind of sinks.
So she's dead inside now.
Welcome to corporate.
And you see as she reads it, she kind of folds it up, and you can see that she's got a smile again, and she's just kind of just trying to get it. She's just trying to fight through it.
Yep.
And comes over and is like, "Oh, long time no see."
I can tell by your face that you did not know that you were going to be our Blügal buddy.
Well, things have happened since we've last met, and I agreed to do this in an effort to clean up my record, and I must say I was not expecting to see all of you. Yay!
A way to give reviews in this process? Because we would love to give you some positive reviews for your record.
Well, I would love that as long as all of you promise not to steal anything again.
Everyone looks at you.
I put my hands up, indicating I'm not stealing anything.
Right at this
Yeah.
second, but not.
So as you do that, she kind of leans in to whisper something to Jimmy, and she says, "If you do that again, I will kill you."
Don't worry, Mandolin. We will work together to make sure that all the wrongs that we have done to your record will be expunged.
Yes.
Yeah.
We is a very strong
We're
word.
lumped in this together now, Bentley.
We're-
Like it or not,
Yeah.
we're all in this.
Well, she says, "Well, looking at your paperwork, I'm not so worried. I saw your manager is Jerry. It seems like you guys won't be working directly in the office, so hopefully you won't be able to do too much damage to my reputation."
We're not working in an office?
No,
I think
it says
we're all
here.
used to working, well, other than Crystal.
Well, Jerry is usually given management over the freelancers.
Oh, all right.
But I didn't know you were knights. I mean, I've never even seen any of you ride a horse. Well, kind of.
Taylor just kind of looks down and like crosses her arms over her midsection. What? So why does it say we're all knights?
Well, you're freelancers. That's normally mounted units that for purpose of hostile takeovers or preventing them.
I think she means we're going to be fighting, Bentley says.
Oh. Does anyone have any? Amy, and you were saying you had wrestling?
Oh yeah, I'm really good at it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
He-
I'm happy to be
Amanda
the meat
Lynn
shield,
looks and
in
says,
fact.
"I could believe that."
Yeah.
I saw how you manhandled the little one.
Yeah, not my best work there, but you know, we all have off days.
Crystal's like, I'm not gonna be fighting anyone, so
You
I
killed that
prefer
bear
to.
pretty spectacularly.
No, I didn't.
You killed a bear?
Oh yeah.
Smash
No,
that bear's
I
head
have
right
no
in.
memory of said bear attack.
I think I still have some of its brain matter in my shirt.
I'm wearing it as a coat.
And chaps.
She's like, Crystal's like, I've chosen to block that trauma from my life. Normally, under normal circumstances, I am a non-violent person. So this is going to be, we're going to have to work around this.
So wait, you said something about hostile takeover.
Yes. Are you familiar with corporate raiding or hostile takeovers?
Please explain.
So I know the three of you, talking about Bentley, Amy, and Richard, went to the Blügal headquarters, and you've been in the corporate sector, and you saw how, like, the first couple of floors of the building are kind of fortified and defensive in nature. So it's a common practice in the corporate sector that companies will hire corporate raiders to go in and, like, kick in the front door and see what they can find out, or, you know, grab new employees or whatever you can handle.
Okay, yeah, it's a little different from where we're from.
But they come in and they basically gut the company and then take all of its stuff.
I've been a part of one of those.
She says, you've killed a bear and you've been part of a hostile takeover and you don't believe you're some kind of warrior?
She's more of a girl boss.
She's very humble.
Crystal, the mighty girl boss. That has a nice ring to it.
Can we make that my name on my
That's not my department.
I'm still gonna find whoever it is. Yep, that's me. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Wow, I would have never thought of you as a mighty warrior, but I guess they come in all kinds.
What does that mean?
So Amanda. So what's our next step since you are our Blügal buddy? What's the deal here?
I need to get you here. Here is this, and she gives you information on where to find your manager. And you notice on his sheet, his full name is Jerry Alvin Trick. He's been with the company for quite a long time.
So what can you tell us about Jerry before we meet him?
So Jerry helped Blügal become what it is by, we'll say, hitting the competition where it hurts. But as he got older, he became more but he now oversees freelancers and other corporate anti-raiders, as Blügal's become big enough where they don't really have much to gain by raiding other companies, as much as they do protecting their own assets and intellectual property. It seems that the assignment you have is doing some counter-hostile takeover of an unknown entity who is trying to stop Blügal's project known only as the Cloud. I don't know what that is, but anyways, there's information here. Here is Jerry's information in case you need to reach out to him. But it says your top priority for your second task is meeting up with the professor Blügal is sponsoring at the Athenaeum.
Hey, that's great. I think we need to go there anyway. All right. What's that person's name? Do we know? Does it say on the paper?
Let's see here. It says here, Professor Felix Fizzlebang, aiding with his research in... Oh, this is just silly. This trans-dimensional travel or something.
We did that. We think.
What? I thought you said you were from Atlantis.
Oh, no. We're from Atlanta, Georgia, which is not near here, and we actually have the internet, which not what you have here. It's very advanced, I think, comparatively speaking.
What are you trying to say?
You're doing great.
Well, either way, I'm just doing my job. Hopefully this gets me back in the clear. Do you have any other questions?
Bentley raises his hand and says, if we're going to be doing fighting, do we get supplied with better weapons, he says. Kind of looks at his short sword and like, this is a little small.
Yes, most corporate offices have a designated weapons rack it's under the supervision of that floor's safety officer.
Okay.
What happened to the ship safety officer?
Oh, the last onboarding session went a little sideways. Those employees apparently lied on their resumes, and it did not go well for them during the training.
What do you mean training?
The corporate raider training.
Is that part of our
Are we going to
onboarding?
be participating in...
Looks at the order of events, says, yes, this afternoon.
Yay!
I'm really glad you're excited, Dr. Amanda.
Just call me Amy Ann. Just Amy Ann. I'm not really a doctor here, apparently.
You are to me, okay?
That's okay.
That's what's important is that when we get back, we're still working on our
Of course, absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Cool. Well, I'm going to let you guys participate in that, and I'm going to watch. I'm going to supervise.
It doesn't appear here that you're in a supervisory position.
Well, since I've been a part of other hostile takeovers.
Well, part of the onboarding process requires you to show proficiency.
Whatever. Looks like I'm going to have to get my hands dirty.
Again.
We didn't again.
I also killed a bear, okay?
We didn't say we were knights or had any kind of hand-to-hand combat experience on our
That's
resume.
also very true. We
Maybe
did
they
not
saw the
say
blood
that.
on your hands.
Oh.
Taylor hasn't raised a hand to anyone. I would like to put the record.
That's true. That is true.
Show.
Yeah.
I don't know. She showed that door who was boss.
That's not blood, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Still not okay. But.
Doors
And
canonically
she says,
bleed
"Oh,
here."
speaking of," and she said, "You see, if you look, you would see another ship pulling up alongside the SS Blügal. You see, as the ships get close to each other, they throw some lines across, and they kind of slide the ships side to side. And you see the ship. It's even bigger than the SS Blügal, but it appears to be almost completely silver. On board, you see what appears to be a bunch of clockwork robots, and a plank drops." And you see what looks to be a human, but with pointy ears, kind of like Crystal, come across with several of these like silver robots behind him. And you see him speak to the captain of the ship, and he leaves about 4 or 5 of them behind, along with what appears to be freshly sharpened weapons. And then he steps back across, waves to all of you, and unmoors his ship. And it's about that time you hear Earl come back. "All right, everyone, I'm glad you got a chance to meet with your Blügal buddies. Now, who's ready for some training?"
Me.
Oh, you're excited? Let's get your group up here first. That's the kind of enthusiasm we're looking at here at Blügal.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Crystal.
Taylor's like, everybody smile.
And as you come up, he says, "Okay, your group is elected to go first, so you'll get first pick of the equipment. Did you bring your own weapons, or do we need to provide
No,
some?"
I would
I
like
need
some.
some.
I would like
Okay,
Yeah.
some.
we'll
We would all
start
like some.
with you. And he looks at your card and he goes, "Bentley,
Yes.
what can I do for you?"
Bentley feels a calling deep within him and was like, I need 2 long swords.
He looks and he says, "Yeah, here you go." And they're just basic long swords.
Nice. Bentley takes them.
Next, we have Jimothy Sticks. Do you need anything?
Can I get a crossbow?
Here's a light crossbow.
Well, I guess that scales with me.
Perfect. Says the bigger ones seem like they might be a bit much for you to handle.
Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, next we have Crystal number 2.
Oh.
What can I do for you, ma'am?
You know, can we just drop the number 2 part? We're here standing. Very obviously, I am not a number 2, even if it says so on my card. Can you just call me by my actual name?
In casual conversation, I will absolutely do as such, but I'm trying to be professional.
Whatever, fine. I don't I'm not great with anything. Do you have any sticks or staffs or things that I need something long range because I'm not getting my hands dirty.
Let's see, we have a assortment of clubs, javelins, quarterstaffs. Any of those sound reasonable for you?
I guess a quarterstaff.
He hands you a stick.
Oh, god damn it!
I mean, it's a quarterstaff. What did you?
I want a staff, a whole.
Yeah, but that's still a stick. He gives you his long rod. Is that better?
No.
HR, hello?
Does it look fancier than the one you just handed me?
My rod is very fancy.
Good, I'll take the fancy rod. Thank you.
All right.
She just snatches it, and she also takes a dagger for good measure.
All right, sounds good. Then we have Taylor Jacobs.
Hi there.
Hi.
I don't know what I need. Could you offer me some recommendations?
Are you strong?
I feel strong.
Here, try this. And you see him pick up this great sword. He's struggling to hold it, and he slams it on the table. Give that a try. Swing that around, see what you think.
Taylor is going to be very apprehensive because she saw how much he had to struggle, so she's going to try and pick it up gently.
So you pick it up, and it is a little unwieldy, but not in an uncontrollable sense.
Okay.
And as you do, you feel like you didn't expect you were going to be able to pick it up so easily.
Wow. All right. Those CrossFit classes are
Nice.
Okay, so she's gonna pick it up, and all of her playing with swords and sticks as a child is gonna start to come back.
He says, "We have a Dr. Amy Ann."
Yeah, just you can drop the doctor part. Just call me Amy Ann.
He holds up a doctor's kit, and he's like, "So you don't want
I'll
this?"
take it, I guess.
Okay,
No, thank
there
you.
you go.
Thank you.
And he says, "Is there anything else you need?"
let's see. I have this, and she pulls out her little like mini hammer.
Yeah.
Is this good?
That looks like you could hurt someone with it.
Okay, that's good. Mostly I'm just going to use these, though. And she holds up her hands and, like, kisses both of her biceps.
Oh, you're going to use those.
Yeah.
And he says, I actually think I have something for that. And he reaches into like a drawer in the rack, and he pulls out 2 brass knuckles.
Oh, I've always wanted some of these.
And basically they just give you, it's a +1 to attack, but not damage.
Okay, cool. Thank you. She puts them on immediately.
I can't tell if you as Amy Ann were excited about that, or if you just as you.
As
excited
Mark.
about
I mean,
it.
maybe it's
And he
both.
says,
I
he
don't
says,
know.
oh, I forgot one. Mr. Cox,
That's me. I'm here.
is there anything you need help with?
Yeah, since we're on a pirate ship, can I get a rapier?
He looks at the random assortment of swords, and he grabs one, and he kind of flourishes it around. He says, will this do the trick?
Indeed it will. And he grabs it with his right hand.
Excellent. As you are all equipped, Earl goes, excellent. So we'll have everyone else take their seats, and we will watch as our first group attempt to protect company secrets. Yay!
Richard's just going to take us just a hard look at Dr. Manda's. Like, she's enjoying this just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Taylor's
And
gonna try and feed off that energy.
you see as he has 3 of the what appear to be robots, you notice that they're pretty much made up of clock springs and gears and stuff, and they move very haphazardly, but still fairly swiftly. Their motion would kind of remind you of, you remember like the claymation stop motion stuff, where it looks like it's moving right, but something just feels off and wrong?
Yeah.
It's like that. They bring up a filing cabinet, and they say, okay, team, your job is to protect this filing cabinet. You will have 3 minutes that you must defend it, or you must slay the intruders. Yay!
Can we have a minute?
Everyone's like, you hear everyone cheering in the background. It's like, slay the intruders, slay the intruders. And as you step up to this part of the boat, you would notice some very like dark brown stains in the wood around this area. Do an investigation.
Oh, I got a nat 1.
So you see it and you're like, they did a sloppy job painting this part of the boat. Does anybody else notice?
I just ignore the fact. I'm like, all right, somebody has been hurt here before.
Crystal just turns up her nose. She's like, ugh.
I'm going to give you guys like a minute to discuss.
How many enemies are there?
So there's 3 enemies.
Gotcha.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, Bentley says.
So how about the 3 big ones? Do the first row, and then we'll have the 3 other ones behind us.
Yeah.
And then we can protect you and the file cabinet, and then also you can like poke through us if necessary. Like,
Please
that
don't
makes
poke through me.
Yeah, everything's quite literal here.
Oh yeah, good point. Around us, if you can move around us,
Okay.
that would be good. What do you think about that?
That's-
Are they all coming from one point? of
So
entry?
they're all lined up. So the filing cabinet is basically at the center of, imagine like a 20-foot radius circle of being an arena. And the 3 automatons are 20 foot away from the filing cabinet, like directly facing at it.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna
that's
charge
smart.
them.
Yeah, I'll
and
do
see if
that.
I can
Yeah.
get some hits off on
Yeah.
them first.
I'll join you.
Okay.
Taylor.
Does the scope of magical tinkering, that implies I can assemble things.
Right?
Can I disassemble things?
Ooh.
Theoretically.
My head's going somewhere with this. We'll see how it plays out.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing I need everyone to do is roll initiative.
Whoa.
Next time on Overworked and Underplayed.
A gratitude a day keeps the haters away, and that's why we want to thank you for listening to Overworked and Underplayed. You just heard Alex Capps as our GM, Annalyn Hardy as Taylor Jacobs, Katie as Crystal, Marjorie as Amy Ann, Marcel Hardy as Richard Cox, Tyler as Bentley, and Kyle as Jimmy Sticks. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll circle back in 2 weeks on February 9th for the next episode. You can help us get the word out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow us on social at OwnUpPod, that's OWNUPPOD, subreddit r/OwnUp.
He is very good at what he does, but refuses to retire.
We call those baby boomers. Just kidding. Cut that.
It's too real.
Yeah. Just leave.
I was about to say, we're past boomers now. We're like at Gen X now. Like, just retire.